Hello everyone, welcome back. wxninjaa here with another update. We have the newest and latest information here from the National Hurricane Center, so we'll go over that here in a second. Here it is, powerful Hurricane Dorian, Category 5 still, going into these northern Bahama Islands here. It made its third landfall right here on this eastern coast, these islands. Powerful hurricane. We'll take a look at it here. I'll back out a little further, move it over here for you. As you can see, those bands, they're getting awfully close. I just heard on the Weather Channel, they were looking at the, what it is an ensemble of the model runs of the European. So you take one model run and you know, it does its information and says, okay, where's this hurricane going? What's the path going to be? Like this red cone, they call it the cone of uncertainty, which is what you see here. Every model run, there'll be like 50 model runs, and they'll all spit out one. You know, maybe one goes this way, one goes this way, one goes this way, one goes this way. There was a small number of them, maybe 10, 15%, that had this coming onto the Florida coast. Another maybe half, maybe less, 40% had them brushing the coast. Some had them way over here, had it already turning north, which isn't going to happen because it's too far west already. And then the rest kind of over in here. So this cone of uncertainty it's going to move over a little bit. And one thing to note is all those points were initialized from about here. All the data was ran from about right here because it wasn't an updated model. It was just the latest one. Meaning from here to here, there's been a lot of new information with this hurricane, which is going to shift all the tracks. So we're getting real worried about, is this thing going to come on shore now to this Florida, eastern coast of Florida, and move up and hit the Carolinas. So I'm going to be watching it overnight, and I'll keep on posting updates. Let's take a look at a couple other things. Here it is. Here's the latest. As of 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 180 mile an hour winds, so they've came down another 5 miles an hour. Pressure went back up to 914, just as we suspected. The reason it went up is because between these two islands, it had enough time to gain 4 millibars of strength. So it came up, it's moving west at 6 miles an hour, so it increased 1 mile per hour. Now some of those spaghetti models, they had this thing just meandering right here for a minute off the coast of this tiny little island Freeport here. If that happens, it's just going to sit there and gain strength again. Excuse me, because it'll be over the warm ocean water right here. We've already talked about the upwelling. There's not a lot of cold water close to the surface. The warmer water is kind of deep in this area. So let's look at this. We looked at this last time for the wind speeds. Let me zoom in here, if it will let me. Oh, there we go. Let's play it out. Let's zoom in. Let's see if we can click on this station again and get another update as far as wind speeds. So 35 mile an hour sustained. We don't know the gust. There's a tornado warning that popped up. That's a radar indicated tornado is what that is. Whenever you see, whenever you see that tornado, basically. Show up as red on the map. It's going a little slow, probably a lot of people looking at this. So let's let it run here. I see that tornado warning. So at the back of that cell, so you see the yellow, the intense thunderstorms, almost totally wrapped around there. Like I said, as we get closer and closer to the coast, we'll hit another radar station and we will get a better view. Let's check this one again. 32. Let's check this. Oh, it disappeared. This one is only 14 miles an hour. Sorry. 14 miles an hour. We'll see what this one does. So 32. Let's go over to this page. Here you see it on a different little satellite view. It's more enhanced. That's not a lot of room, folks. That is not a lot of room to be off the coast. I'm going to refresh that page, come back to it. Let's look at something else. We already looked at this. Here's the latest track, 11 p.m. That's all hurricane. Like I said, it's close to that coast. And now with everything, I mean, you can see it has it basically shooting straight north once it gets here. But that thing's jogged to the west a lot, so here's your different wind speeds. This isn't wind speed at Orlando, Jacksonville, and Charleston. This is just the wind speed of the hurricane's center at this point as it passes by this area. So as it passes by Orlando, if it's offshore, it'll be 140-mile-an-hour winds sustained in the core. That's the eye of the storm, this area here. 120 off the coast, Jacksonville, 100 somewhere around Charleston. Isn't that far, obviously, but yes, it is. And then Cape Hatteras up here, it should be weakening. But if this makes a direct landfall, I mean, it could get close to this coast and bounce off and then come back into Hatteras. I mean, we don't really know. So they did the latest estimate. So let's look. 915 went down to 914. It went down 1. Sorry, not 10. It went down 10 from 21 UTC. So this is when it was going over the small islands. This is when it wasn't. So it gained 1 millibar in 3 hours. But the wind speeds, wind speeds decreased because it didn't have enough time to strengthen. Now as it goes back over these small islands, I don't know. That's a pretty small island. I don't know how much it's going to affect it. So again, there's the tracks, projected path. We'll see if that changes. This chart I showed last time, just to let you know, 5 Cat 4 storms, or Cat 5 storms in the last couple of years here. So, again, here's your latest on the hurricane warnings and watches and tropical storm warning and watches. They're probably going to update this soon because as this thing continues to go west, you might see a hurricane watch come up for the area of West Palm Beach, southward, maybe towards Miami. You can see they have it off the coast. That's kind of weird how they have that. They have tropical storm warning here, but right against the coast they have a hurricane watch. It's probably just a graphical error. Someone needed to take that out. You see up here, hurricane warning Melbourne, up from West Palm Beach north of Melbourne. Again, here's some more pictures. It's just the same ones. No new pictures have come in. But if this is the first time seeing it, I mean, that's a storm surge. It's classic. In a hurricane, this is what happens when it gets in there. The roof's taken off. It just gets in there and starts grinding on those buildings. Sorry, that's a page I was searching stuff. One more image here. So this is what's called the water vapor loop. It just shows the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Obviously, the how you see in the center, towards the center there, just real heavy precipitation. You can see those outer bands. That's just water content are getting really close to Florida. Really close. I imagine here in the next 2-3 hours, it's going to start getting pretty bad in Florida if it continues on this path. Even if it jogs up here where my cursor is, the plus sign right there, thank God the coast of Florida veers off to the west, because if it went straight up like this, you'd definitely be getting hit. But this little jog to the west of this land may be just enough to help save Florida, but the Carolinas, I don't think they're going to escape without a landfall. This thing being really close to making a landfall or making a landfall. It's too close. It's too close for comfort. If you're in this area along the eastern seaboard of Florida, really all I can say is get out now. Like I've been saying. Yeah. So that's the latest. These updates come out every 3 hours. So I'll probably do a video in another hour or two just to see what's going on. They'll probably have some new information on this hurricane. We'll see if this right here going over land. Let's zoom in a little bit. So you can really see. I mean, when you can see straight through the radar like that down to the land, that's pretty scary. It's breathtaking because it's very awesome to look at from a weather aspect, but I'd rather see this in the middle of the Atlantic or Pacific, somewhere where it's not affecting people's lives. But you can see the eye wall is wider than any piece of this. I mean, maybe right here, but if this continues and it skirts this southern coast of this island, that's keeping half the hurricane of half the eye of the hurricane over water. It's just allowing it to gain strength, just to sit there and churn and to just devastate this area. I mean, they're getting the look at how long this is going. So let's watch this loop and let's see how many hours this is. So it's a 2-hour loop. So you can see, I hope people don't go outside. A lot of people think, oh, it's the eye. It's actually the storm ending. It's not. It's just the eye. I mean, you can just watch for 2 hours. This whole area is just getting inundated. It's getting hammered. Get these stronger cells. So what that does is it pushes down pushes the air. It gets really windy in these stronger cells. If anyone's ever had a gust front from a severe thunderstorm, it's the same kind of thing. It's just like it's a downburst basically. Let's check one more time. See if we can get an updated wind speed here. 36. What's Alistown doing? 16. 32. So 30 mile an hour sustained winds, probably gust in the 50s. But if you look, you know, this was in the teens. Look at how far away that is. So by the time this hurricane center gets to Freeport, you're probably going to start feeling them over here. You know, you got 2 mile an hour winds, 5 mile an hour winds, 7 mile an hour winds. Nothing, you know, nothing to worry about. But I'm afraid that this is going to get pretty dicey along this coast here. And you know, you can see the tornadoes. This is the second or third one we've already seen on the radar. They're just radar indicated. That means conditions are good. Doesn't mean it's actually on the ground, but still, you could get some over here too. So again, if you're in this area, get out now while you still have a chance. If you're in the Carolinas, Georgia, you know, they're doing mandatory evacuations in some of those areas. This thing might come ashore. So everyone pray for these people. Again, I'm going to post the same information I've been posting as far as, you know, the counties that are evacuating and whatnot. You can find that information for Florida and then Red Cross to donate, or if you need help, you can go to the website, you can call, you can text to donate $10. It's super easy. So, and of course, they're going to need blood. That's one thing they always need in these situations. So if you can do anything to help, you know, I'll leave those resources. Again, if you want to get constant updates and be notified when I make an update, just hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. It'll let you know as soon as you can. You want to leave a like, leave a comment. I'll answer questions. Plus, it helps out my channel. You know, I'm just a new YouTuber trying to grow here, so I really appreciate any love and support. And I'm just going to keep doing these updates to help people get all the information they can. I try to keep it simple. I know sometimes when you watch the news or read things on the internet, it can get pretty complicated, but I'm just trying to keep it simple. Get the information out there. I'm not making any doomsday predictions. I hope this thing curves north, but right now it's still headed west. It made that southern jog earlier. I hope it doesn't go to the south anymore, because that would definitely put it into Florida, I think. But we'll see. We're going to know here in the next couple hours. We're going to have a really good idea of what this thing's going to do. If it doesn't make that northward turn in the next couple hours, then it's going to come really close to the coast of Florida, if not go to Florida and make a landfall. All right, so that's it for now. Like I said, appreciate your love and support, and we'll see you in a couple hours.